My name is Giangiuseppe Pili, and I am an assistant professor in the Intelligence Analysis Program, School of Integrated Sciences at James Madison University in Virginia. I am also a senior associate fellow to the NATO Defense College, and I am an associate fellow at the Royal United Services Institute in London. My main research is in intelligence studies, the philosophy of intelligence, and another totally different stream of work is open source intelligence. The philosophy of intelligence is today in a better position because of all the work that we try to do collectively, but still there is a lot of suspiciousness on the notion that you can publish research papers on the very conceptual aspects of the intelligence profession, which is still underappreciated in all possible ways of the word underappreciated. Not because philosophy of intelligence can bring all the solutions, but definitely something that philosophy can uniquely bring in many different aspects, from the ethics of intelligence to epistemology or theory of knowledge. And so at the very least, having a much better appreciation of what we are doing when we do analysis and more broadly intelligence. In the sense that philosophy is heavily reliant on semantics and natural language, although there is a core component that is formal logic that me personally, or set theory that we cannot underestimate. But in general terms, philosophy is about understanding the value of the language and the weight of every single word, which is something that we share with intelligence, because as I say to my students, intelligence is a word like the plant of words, like the text. And so philosophy can definitely bring much more appreciation for what is an existential component of intelligence, which is words. And so as a result, only with this kind of light, one can appreciate how diverse the intelligence communities, plural, are, exactly because they are grounded on different languages, which is, in practical terms, laws, policymakers speak to their people, and as the executive function of any government, the intelligence is directly dependent on the executive by definition. And so intelligence by definition is entirely defined by the specific natural language of the specific community. And so as a result, every single community is imbued by different values. Exactly because intelligence is based on words, then operational is also based on words. Because depending on how you define your operation, you can arrive to totally different capacities in operational terms. And so one classical example in the case of the Soviet Union before, but now Russia, is the concept of misinformation or disinformation, which is different from their own point of view in the sense, so I'm not a Russian speaker, so I am not an expert on the Russian language per se, but the debate is what can be done within the intelligence operation when it comes to disinformation and misinformation. For instance, my personal, it can be debatable, but intelligence in the Anglosphere world is much more related to the notion of knowledge, which is based on truth, is epistemology. The theory of knowledge is justified through belief. But there are other cultures that are less committed to the notion of truth. And even the notion of truth in the Anglo-American philosophy, analytic philosophy, is a huge topic, as anybody can understand. But obviously, different conception of what truth is or what can be done with the truth, if it can be instrumentalized to a certain level. So in the intelligence and in the IC, there was one interesting debate that was, we don't do this kind of misinformation, disinformation operation because we would pay first, because we are an open society, as a democratic society, we would pollute ourselves one way or another. And so interestingly, that wasn't because the argument wasn't exactly because we defend truth, but essentially because it backfired. Where instead in a more dominated society, dominated by secrets, so to speak, then the argument can shift and say, no, we don't care about that, or we have a different vision of what the truth is. So different visions of truth can lead to different operations. The fact that the conceptual analysis of intelligence and within the intelligence studies, which is the scientific domain in which the scientific debate is played, that conceptual analysis, even a little bit esoteric, so to speak, so difficult, okay, can bring a lot of value to our general understanding of intelligence as such. And it's misunderstood because there is still not an underappreciation, an over appreciation for the operational aspects of the field. So essentially is, okay, let's do something. Who care about what it means that truth is truth, or what it means truth? Who knows? Or nobody care. And as a result, I have always to defend what I'm doing. So much so that I tend even to not say that I'm doing philosophy. I use conceptual analysis. I say analysis because that's exactly what it is. But but even I can tell you, like right now, I have a paper. It should come out, and the answer was the reviewer said it's all great. The theoretical aspect is too difficult. Simplify. It's important, but it's too burdensome for the reader. And so the question is it or is it not? Because sometimes you just really need to go into the weed and clarify the concept, even if you don't like it, because you don't see immediate operational value out of that. It can be in the profession, it can be in the teaching side, but again,